woke up from a dead sleep. The lightning woke me up, and I heard sound like I guess you'd say a freight train running in your backyard, and there ain't no track back there for it to run on.
A freight train in your backyard. This man's story just one of many in this October severe outbreak. At least a dozen tornado reports already and hundreds of damage reports since this morning.
And this is Ashdown, Arkansas, one of at least 2 cities where this outbreak turned deadly. An EF2 tornado killed a Marine. His wife is in intensive care. Storms also killed a man in Alabama when a tree fell on his home.
And the threat isn't over. It stretches through Wednesday. Millions more still at risk from Texas and Louisiana all the way to Pennsylvania.
Hey everyone, it's top of the hour. I'm Kim Cunningham.
And I'm Mark Elliott. And we've got a wide swath of real estate still at play through the nighttime hours. Tornado watches continuing from the Midwest all the way down to the Gulf Coast. So let's take a look at that area right now. We're starting off here across portions of the Deep South. Right? We've got Tuesday until 3 in the morning. You have a tornado watch there. We're looking towards northern portions of Alabama with a tornado watch until midnight, and further north a tornado watch going until midnight there as well, including Tennessee, Kentucky, and southern portions of Indiana. Of course, we're going to be following storms within this area and potentially further east as we go through the rest of the night. So a large area that we're still watching. Of course, here with Kim Cunningham, and we are going to be tracking these storms. A very active pattern here.
Very active. We're going to watch this eventually probably weaken a little bit over the next 24 hours, but tonight we're still dealing with severe storms, and we're going to show you now where some of those severe storms are, and even a tornado warning. I believe we're going to go ahead and show you that now, if we could. There we go. There's where the watches are, even around Birmingham until it looks like 12 o'clock. Expect the potential of tornadoes here for the next couple of hours. So we're going to watch this. I'll show you the radar. And again, this line of storms very dangerous. And we're watching all these storm reports come in. And Mark, very impressive. Well over 150 reports of severe storms coming in. So we're going to zoom in now and show you the line of storms extending from, looks like the Ohio Valley all the way into the Deep South. And there's that tornado warning that's been issued here in Florida.
Yeah, you know, this has been a very dangerous storm. Several indicators on the dual pole radar here of debris being thrown into the air. And so they continue to warn on this storm until 11:45 in Liberty County. We have been watching you very carefully throughout this area. And here's the look at how the raindrops are moving within the storm, right?
Right. And when you see that couplet, the red and green together, it's indicating there's a circulation in there. And, you know, it could be a broad circulation. It could be, you know, maybe in the middle of the storm where the circulation is occurring, and what we look for is a real tight circulation. And sometimes we check different types of radars to see if there's indeed, like you said, maybe debris in the air. But right now you can actually see where that hook is in here, and we're going to track this northward, and this is the timing on this. In Billis, 11:13, 11:24 in Fawnford, and 11:31 it looks like here in Wood. So now is the time for you guys to get to the lowest level of your room, an interior, or lowest level of your home, interior room away from the windows.
And so that's one of those storms that's well out ahead of the main line of storms that we've been watching. There have been some brief spin-ups along this line, but certainly heavy rain and flash flooding a potential with that main line of storms. Just lots of rain coming on through. And
Mark, we've had dew points in the 70s and 60s, and when it's that high, it's that tropical air mass, and we can get some very heavy rainfall. And some reports already 2 to 3 inches of rain here, but also a heavy rain expected just southwest of Nashville, but also a severe thunderstorm warning. Cannon, Rutherford, and Wilson County under a warning right now.
And Kim, in Nashville, our own Dave Malkoff is hanging out. He went through that line of storms. Dave, tell us about what you saw when that system came through and what you're seeing now.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of rain now. It's actually getting a little heavier in the last few seconds. The National Weather Service was looking at threats from tornadoes, looking at threats from possible severe thunderstorms, threats from possible flooding here because it's been a very wet month and the storm is pushing through very slowly. So they're still thinking that in some of the low-lying areas they may get some flooding overnight. We're going to keep an eye on that. But as the storm, very powerful part of it, pushed over downtown Nashville just about an hour ago or so, we got a threat from directly above us that caught us off guard. Take a look at this. So still a severe thunderstorm warning, and they are also looking at the possibility of some flash flooding. And look at that. That was right on top of me. Maybe we want to get inside. We'll talk to you guys in just a bit. You know what, you guys? That is the first time I've actually seen that. I didn't see the videotape until right now, and you could see how powerful that flash is. Let me tell you what I saw. As I looked back here, right after I heard the powerful thunderclap, I could see the column dissipating right in front of me. And as you know about lightning, those columns only last for a few milliseconds. They burn hotter than the surface of the sun, and then they dissipate. So for me to hear the sound, look up, and see the dissipating column, you knew that that was directly on top of you. So when thunder roars, get indoors. You do not want to be directly underneath a thunderstorm with lightning on top of you. That's one of the most dangerous places you can possibly be, because lightning columns can not only start from the sky and hit the ground, but they can also come from the ground and hit the sky, just depending on where the charge is. So it's a very dangerous place to be, but right now all we've got is rain passing through downtown Nashville, you guys.
All right, Dave Malkoff, glad you stayed safe tonight and got inside when the storms got a little bit too close.
You did the right thing, that is for sure. So we're looking at this system moving east, and it's going to bring that severe threat to some of you during the overnight hours. We want to make sure you are prepared in case some of that severe weather gets into your area overnight.
Yeah, and you know what? This whole thing can be seen through the water vapor imagery, as we have this big trough digging its way on through, big area of low pressure, which is actually kicking up these storms as it makes its way towards the east.
Right.
And all that moisture is certainly in play.
Yeah, check this out. We got temperatures in the 70s this time of the night in the Atlanta metro area, even with southeast to easterly winds. But those southerly winds all the way up to the Ohio Valley. The cold front moving east into that warm, moist air. We've got these storms that have developed. You can see the line right here, Mark, as it extends all the way up towards the Ohio River. And this is marching east.
And so the good news is that we don't have as many warnings at this point, but as you saw from Dave, every single lightning strike is severe. So with this line of storms, treat it seriously, get inside, wait this one out as it moves through your area.
And we're going to watch as that front goes, so you can actually see it on the dew point forecast map, actually putting that into motion, and we're going by these things so fast. We're looking at some of those storms moving east and eventually getting into the Atlanta area. It looks like sometime during the overnight hours.
So millions still in the threat area tonight through Wednesday. If you are in a house without a basement, get to the lowest level, get inside a small center room, try to avoid the windows and the lightning. We're back after this.
Need new tires? Right now at Pep Boys, when you buy 3 select tires, you get the 4th tire free instantly. Plus, get 6 months special financing on purchases of $199 or more. Trust the boys to get you there.
It figures. On your busiest day, you see the gray. Try Root Touch-Up by Nice and Easy. Just brush our permanent color matching cream right where you need it. Then rinse. In 10 minutes, zap those grays and get on with your day. Nice and Easy Root Touch-Up.
Just tell us your budget, and the Name Your Price tool helps you find a whole range of coverages. No one else gives you options like that. No one at all. No one at all. No one. Wake up.
Oh, you okay, buddy? I just had a dream that Progressive had this thing called...
Your budget, and the Name Your Price tool helps you find a whole...
It isn't a dream, is it?
Nope.
Sorry. You know that thing freaks me out.
He can hear you. He didn't mean that, Kevin.
Yes, he did.
Keeping our competitors up at night. Now that's Progressive.
You're going to want to watch 7 a.m. on AMHQ.
This is a big weather morning.
The biggest weather hour anywhere. What you watch in the morning matters.
Is your weather geeky this morning?
Make AMHQ your morning show. America's morning headquarters. Weekday mornings starting live at 7 Eastern on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 82 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 78. Tuesday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 86. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
This Sunday night on the Weather Channel, you'll never know how twisted weather can be. Wicked Weather Sundays, every Sunday night at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Yeah, I'm married. Does it matter? You do that for me? Really? Yeah, I'd like that.
Who are you talking to?
It's Jake from State Farm. Sounds like a really good deal.
Jake from State Farm at 3 in the morning? Who is this?
It's Jake from State Farm.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Khakis.
She sounds hideous.
Well, she's a guy, so.
Another reason more people stay with State Farm. Get to a better state.
When we say the all-new Chrysler 200 is all new, we mean it. We used the latest tools and built a new state-of-the-art manufacturing plant. We gave it new smart technology. We challenged conventional thinking with a more intuitive design. And we set new expectations of what an American sedan can be. The all-new Chrysler 200, America's import.
Welcome back, everyone, as we continue to follow this October severe outbreak. You're looking at video from Monroe, Louisiana, and look at that tree damage. Trees, branches, even some power lines down across the area. This is common across this portion of Louisiana as we have seen these big storms roll on through. Granted, they are now bearing down across portions of Alabama and the Florida Panhandle. So we'll give you an update on where those storms are in just a second. Now, some of these storms have been giving us tornado warnings and tornadoes, a potential tornado there beyond the hill in Raymer, Tennessee. This one shot by Tammy Rayburn in that town of Raymer. That's just to the east of the Memphis area. And although we can see a lowering there, we can't see the ground, so impossible to know what's happening beyond those trees. But my goodness, some powerful storms moved through today. There's another view for you a little bit further down the road, that lowering ominous sky off in the distance. And a good job by JC's dad there on Twitter to stay far enough away that you weren't too close to that storm. Now, Kim, well, these storms are still packing a punch, moving towards the east right now. Let's see where they are with you.
And they are moving very quickly, so if you're in Georgia, it's going to be before probably you wake up that these storms are going to be in here. So as you can see the line of storms just to the east of Nashville, where we still have an isolated severe one, but also all the way to the Gulf Coast. Now, we're not seeing a tremendous amount of warnings right now, but we still could see isolated severe storms overnight tonight. We're going to see some strong winds with this line as it comes through. Will it be 60, 70-mile-per-hour winds like we saw yesterday or today? Well, it's probably a little bit more isolated than it was earlier today, but still the potential is here for isolated tornadoes. Liberty County here in the Panhandle of Florida under a tornado warning right now. So you guys need to get to your safe room now. The lowest level of your home, interior room, you stay away from the windows. And as you can see right now, this is actually forecast to go north. We're not seeing the couplet that we saw earlier as strong in this area with the greens and the reds. But again, it is forecast to move northward, and you're still seeing a little bit of a hook in there as well. But we're looking now as it moves north, 1120 in Villas, and looks like Fawn Ford at 1129, 1134 in Woods. Again, moving north, so it may throw you off a little bit. Again, it's pretty strong southerly winds with this, but also the flash flood potential is there as well. A little bit farther west, we've got flash flood warnings in effect in Alabama, where we have already seen close to 3 inches of rainfall. So that's one more thing to worry about tonight. We're also being affected farther north in the Midwest. Mark?
Yeah, this line of storms really packing a punch, Kim, going all the way up into the Midwestern United States. That severe storm threat traveling all the way up towards the north. In fact, here's the current radar picture. Big storms rolled through Chicago. Another kind of faint line of storms trying to come through Chi-Town as we speak. But steady rains in Green Bay, up north in Michigan, very heavy rain. In fact, the area of low pressure is all the way back over here, back towards, center portions of the Midwest, north of Kansas City. Forget about that ball game tonight. That got postponed. We've got got steady showers here across portions of Iowa, moving up through Minnesota and into Wisconsin also. In fact, here's that area of low pressure. This is known as the warm sector. You've got all that southerly wind out ahead of the storm, pumping up the moisture and the juice, and then, of course, the cold front will swing on through. So for places like Chicago, we are looking at steady rain, 2 a.m. to 5 a.m., then some lingering showers, maybe even some rumbles of thunder again tomorrow as that area of low pressure finally makes its way through the region. So we're going to be dealing with that rain for quite a bit. Tonight, scattered showers with the severe weather out ahead of that area of low pressure. By tomorrow, some wraparound rainfall and then the severe threat moving a little bit further east. By Tuesday night, we're looking at east of Cincinnati, but Charleston, straight on down through the Tennessee Valley, you could see some of those big storms. So when all is said and done, we're looking at some pretty good rainfall amounts from this thing, and some of this could come in a pretty good burst, Kim. So we are looking at flooding along with all the stormy weather.
And that's why we're with you through the night to track severe storms. They affect millions of people, but we're also watching the Atlantic. Hurricane Gonzalo is approaching Puerto Rico. What can we expect?
Listen up, Thunder Dragons. It's time to get a hotel.
Hey, Razor, check this out. We can save big with Priceline Express deals.
You know what, man? These guys ain't no dragons.
They're cool. These deals are legit.
Yeah, we're cool. She's cool. We're cool.
It's Chevy Truck Month, time when truck guys can depend on great offers on the 2014 North American Truck of the Year. Chevy Silverado, from the family of the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size pickups on the road. It's Truck Month. Trade up to this Silverado Crew Cab LT All-Star Edition for a total value of $8,500. It's Truck Month. See your local Chevy dealer today.
For the year. Hi, sorry, just want to say, I bundled home and auto with State Farm, saved $760. Love this guy. So sorry.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Savings worth talking about. State Farm.
Be one with it, and it will be one with you. Be one with your tires, and the road will be one with you. Angle Tires.
Apples are good, as Strongbow Hard Cider better. But Strongbow over ice is the best. Enjoying Strongbow over ice with your slow-motion horse, the bestest. Strongbow, world's #1 hard cider.
Awesome! I've been Claritin Clear for 8 days.
At the first sign of your allergies, doctors recommend taking 1 Claritin every day of your allergy season for continuous relief.
21 days. 14 days of continuous relief.
Live Claritin Clear every day.
It's just freaking me out.
If you missed this Sunday night on the Weather Channel,
this is crazy.
You'll never know how twisted weather can be.
Is it real? Yeah, it's real.
Living with diabetes, it's really important for me to take care of my skin. It's a schedule. It's must do every day.
Gold Bond Diabetics Dry Skin Relief. 9 out of 10 saw noticeable improvement in just 1 hour. Dry skin is under control.
Gold Bond really works.
You'll love that Selsun Blue is tough on dandruff. And she'll love that it's gentle on your hair. Selsun Blue exfoliates and invigorates your scalp while moisturizing and conditioning your hair. Bring on the blue. Selsun Blue.
I would love to see you take a ride in the space shuttle. Seriously, think about it. I've been in the space shuttle before. Didn't really go for a ride in it because the clearances are incredibly complicated. It got me thinking, you know what I've never done? I've never gone for a ride on a motorized skateboard. So somebody should do that. It's a great suggestion. Keep them coming.
Brought to you locally by South Florida Ford. Go further. Online at southfloridaford.com.
499-6188 or go online to theactivebrace.com. Call or click today.
Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend. American Supernatural, Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Stay tuned for your Local on the 8, brought to you by Del Monte's yummy new Fruit Burst Squeezers.
What's in a can of Del Monte green beans?
If I was a flower growing wild and free, all I'd want is you to be my sweet honeybee. And if I was a tree growing tall and green, all I'd want is you to shade me and be my leaf.
Grown
grown in America, picked and packed at the peak of ripeness, with no artificial ingredients. Del Monte, bursting with life.
Currently in our area, 82 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 78. Tuesday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 86. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
My goodness, it was a powerful storm that moved through Monroe, Louisiana earlier today. Damaged several cars at the local Walmart. You can see a truck flipped over there as well. Some carts were blown around at the store. The parking lot was flooded. There was all kinds of issues. There's a zoom in on that truck along with some of the shopping carts. The rain was impressive. In fact, there were lots of reports of damage across the area. Even potentially a concrete plant damaged by this storm. So even the strong buildings, at least you'd think they would be strong buildings. They're making concrete, right? But yeah, a flooded parking lot, that is a mess across that area. The storm was so powerful that one woman tweeted that she thought it was a possible tornado or a terrorist attack on the store. That's how loud it was when this storm was moving on through. Of course, we've got a whole smattering of storms still out there. Here's the main line of storms, right? This broken line goes all the way down to the Gulf Coast and as far north as, let's say Tennessee, Kentucky, and Indiana at this point. Out ahead of that line, we have some individual cells which are still causing some problems. So let's zoom in on some of these problematic zones. This is due, or I should say, well to the west of Tallahassee. Here's Tallahassee. Here's Sopchoppy. If you're over towards the Bristol area, keep an eye on this storm. Now the northern portion of the warning. Still some rotation being indicated here. Not nearly as impressive as it was earlier. That is the good news across this area. We can time this out for you, and even this should probably get shifted north a little bit because this storm is moving pretty quickly now. So falling forward basically now at Bristol by, let's say 11:35 or so. Plus along that line, Kim, we still have flooding rain. So a lot to track with these storms. Over to you.
Just that. We're also talking about the tropics here tonight. We're tracking Hurricane Gonzalo. Just look at what the wind did to trees here in Antigua, and you can really hear the wind and the rain. Wow, Gonzalo is now on its way to the northwest. How will this affect Puerto Rico? All right, we're going to show you here in just a second, but it's time for that tropical update. And when you look at this map, I'm going to show you, you're going to go, wow, just a week ago, there was nothing on this map. But now look at this. We've got 4 areas on this satellite image that we're going to talk about and hopefully be able to get through all this. So be patient with me. We're looking at a new tropical storm in the Central Pacific. This is Anna. This is just upgraded with the latest advisory. There's Hawaii. That's why we're worried about this one. But we also have Hurricane Gonzalo here and Invest in the Central Atlantic, and then Faye, which we're not going to worry about because Faye is out of here. All right, so let's talk about Hurricane Gonzalo. Now, this is different. Winds are now up to 85 miles per hour. That has increased with the latest advisory. Pressure's dropped 984 millibars, moving northwest at 12. Now, the center did go over St. Martin, by the way, and you can look at this infrared satellite picture, and overall, it does look healthier, and it looks a little bit more symmetric. Even some of the purples in here looking a little bit more symmetric. So looking a little bit more round. So we're looking at this getting better organized. Now here's Puerto Rico. Now, if you think about this, we're going to get northerly winds in here. There's a mountain range right here in the middle of Puerto Rico, especially on the northern side with upslope conditions. We could see some heavy rain here, and we're going to possibly see some tropical storm force winds in San Juan and Puerto Rico as well. But look at this radar image. You could see the eye right in here. There it is on that west side. That's where we're seeing, looks like some of the strongest thunderstorms right now with this. Water vapor imagery showing we have a little bit of drier to the northwest southwest, but overall, still some good outflow on that west side and northern side as well. So this thing is going to be moving over waters that are sea surface temperatures over 85 degrees. So we're going to see this thing intensify possibly the next 36 hours to a major hurricane and maybe on its way to Bermuda. So this is a big concern. Also, this Invest 91L, nothing to worry about with this, but we'll keep an eye on this. We'll talk about this at 10 till the hour. Mark, back to you.
And of course, as part of our Tropical Storm Gonzalo coverage, Reynolds Wolf is live from Puerto Rico starting at 6 a.m. Tuesday during Wake Up with Al, which actually starts a little early at 5 a.m. So if you're up early, join us here on the Weather Channel. And if you find yourself in the middle of the storm, there are some things you should keep in mind as we keep you weather ready in a tornado-warned area. You got to stay out of these storms.
You change your style. Why not your eye color? New Air Optics Colors prescription contact lenses enhance your eye color for a naturally beautiful look with consistent comfort. Find your perfect color and get a free trial offer at airopticscolors.com.
Let's do a reality check. Kids will be kids. Dogs will be dogs. So let's get some paint that's more than just paint. Made to stand up to this and look beautiful for years. Let's lose the old marks and messes and stop new ones in their tracks. Let's worry-proof our walls. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Behr Premium Plus with Easy Clean Finish starting at $25.97 a gallon.
This man has an accomplished research and analytical group at his disposal. But even more impressive is how he puts it to work for his clients.
Morning. Morning.
Thanks for meeting so early.
Oh, it's not a big deal at all. Come on in.
It's how Edward Jones makes sense of investing.
Cooper engineers its tires, not just for performance, but real life performance. So before you get in, get going. Get gone. You need to get a tire that gets you, because life's a road trip. Come on, let's go. Buy 4 qualifying Cooper tires and get up to a $70 prepaid card by mail. See retailer for details.
Night, Ted. Night.
Remember when your trunk wasn't smart enough to open for you? When only your living room had HD.
Hi, babe.
You're not going to make it, are you?
And a little weather could ruin your plans.
Come on. Have I ever let you down?
Well...
Don't answer that.
The all-new Genesis with H-Track all-wheel drive from Hyundai.
I've got one shot. Let's go twins right, 24 stretch. 24 stretch, all diamond.
Twins right, 24 stretch. All diamonds on 2 okay.
When the game's on the line,
Hit them with a hard count. See if they'll tip their hand.
the NFL trusts Duracell Quantum to power their game day communication.
They're blitzing up the gut. Get out of the pocket.
Duracell Quantum lasts up to 35% longer than the competition.
Premium for the year. Hi, sorry, just want to say I bundled home and auto with State Farm, saved $760. Love this guy. So sorry.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Savings worth talking about. State Farm.
You're going to want to watch 7 a.m. on AMHQ.
This is a big weather morning.
The biggest weather hour anywhere. What you watch in the morning matters.
Is your weather geeky this morning?
Make AMHQ your morning show. America's morning headquarters. Weekday mornings starting live at 7 Eastern on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 82 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 78. Tuesday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 86. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Every Monday night this fall.
What is it that produces these things?
The Weather Channel unlocks the secrets of the Earth. An all-new season starts next Monday night at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Listen to that. Yeah, it's another view in Monroe, Louisiana, where high winds and rain absolutely blasted through the area. So far, severe thunderstorm wind damage is the official word, but I'm sure there will be crews out there because there's a lot of damage across Monroe, Louisiana, and it is certainly possible that a tornado went through. So, of course, we're still watching this video from a confirmed EF2 tornado near Ashdown, Arkansas, in the southwest corner of the state near the Texas border. A structure was leveled. Cars were overturned and thrown and pelted with debris. This was certainly a scary zone for a time this afternoon. And we still have those storms going through the night. So don't put your guard down. If anything, Kim, these storms get even more dangerous during the nighttime hours and you can't see them. Bottom of the hour here. Weather Center Live continues. I'm Mark Elliott.
And I'm Kim Cunningham. This October severe weather outbreak has turned deadly. Let's get the latest on what's happened so far. At least 2 deaths are contributed to these storms. A Marine died after an EF2 tornado threw him out of his home with his wife and children in Ashdown, Arkansas. A second person died after a tree fell on his home in Walker County, Alabama. And in Louisiana, Governor Bobby Jindal has declared a state of emergency. More than 60,000 people are without power in Louisiana and Alabama. Now, we're going to show you the areas we're concerned about. Let's talk about some of those watches still in effect.
Yes, plenty of watches still in play tonight. Now, this is the one that's furthest north. That's southern Indiana into Kentucky, right along the highway there. And, of course, this has been being trimmed back from west to east as the storms race on off towards the east. So, officially, this section of the watch still in play until 1 a.m. Now, a little bit further towards the south, we're looking towards central Tennessee into much of northern and central Alabama. A tornado watch there until midnight. And southern Alabama, closest to the Gulf Coast, a tornado watch continuing until 3 a.m. And there is the potential, Kim, for a new watch in eastern Alabama into North Georgia. The Storm Prediction Center has been monitoring that area carefully as these storms are still moving on off towards the east.
Now let's show you some of the storm reports. And Mark, very impressive. Well over 200 reports of severe weather today alone. Now we also had some overnight as well. But check this out. Most of these are wind damage reports.
Absolutely. You see those kind of squiggly lines. Those are wind damage reports. And then all those broken trees, that is some sort of damage from wind. So many of those that they're almost covering up the tornado symbols, although there have been plenty of those as well.
There sure has, and too many. One is too many, right? So we're going to show you now where the line of storms, where these storms are, and you can see the leading edge is where we're expecting the strong winds. Where you see the leading edge and where you see all the red in there, that's where we have the potential to see some strong winds that could do some wind damage tonight. But Mark, notice what's out ahead of it. We've got some showers and thunderstorms that have actually developed here in the Gulf that are tracking northward, and we've actually seen with them, we've even seen even a few tornado warnings there.
Yeah, still a pretty classic supercell signature just to the east of Bristol. You call that the eagle wings, where you see the kind of fanning out position, and sometimes down on that south side in that hook you could get a tornado, and there have been reports of tornadoes with that supercell. Now there's no tornado warning now, and there's really no image on the reflectivity saying that that is a tornado at the moment, but it could turn into one at any point.
Yeah, and that's, of course, something we're going to keep a close eye on for you guys. But if you're in Clark and Monroe County, this is in Alabama now, where we've had some heavy rain, well over 2 inches. This is a flash flood warning. So the concern is not just for wind damage and maybe some hail, but really, I think flash flooding is a concern too.
The rainfall amounts in just a few hours have been very impressive. 2 to 4 inches of rain coming down. So that's several hours in a row of 1 inch per hour rainfall rates. The ground just can't take that much water.
No, and we're seeing that even farther north with flash flooding. Looks like northern Alabama, west of Huntsville. But this severe thunderstorm warning is now in effect for Jackson, Madison, Marshall County. And it's with this line right here, this part of it, it's kind of bowing out slightly here, that we could see maybe 60 to 70 mile per hour winds. So if you're northern Alabama, east of Huntsville, you're pretty much in the clear. It's mainly east of you now that we're going to see that strong wind threat.
And Kim, do you worry about any of those storms that are going kind of south to north out ahead of the line, colliding in and giving more boost to those storms that are already in progress?
Those cell mergers can can happen. And when you have that, a couple things could happen. You get a quick spin up of a tornado possibly. You can get flash flooding, so that's something to think about as well. And even farther north here, flash flood warnings now in effect in Tennessee, just southwest of Nashville. And this is all heavy rain coming down in here, and especially that leading edge is where we might see some strong winds with this. Maybe not severe criteria, but we could see strong winds.
Very impressive on this view that you're looking at on the right side of your screen. This is the water vapor, the amount of moisture in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere, and you can really feel that low digging through the center of the country, and that's what's given the punch to these storms to the east.
It really is amazing how far south this has gotten, but here's the drier air working into it, and here's the system itself kind of curling up in here and heading off in this direction. So out ahead of it, we've really tapped a lot of moisture, and what you're seeing here in the blue is indicating where we have some of the higher cloud tops and some of the heavy rain that we've been seeing, and this again is all pushing off in this direction.
So we have not only through the overnight, but a couple of days where all that kind of moist, juicy air is still in play across the eastern United States. We're still going to be following this storm system.
We sure are. Until that front comes through, we're going to be dealing with this. Look at this right now. The temperature in Cincinnati is 72 degrees.
Warmer than it is in Dallas or Oklahoma City behind that pair of cold fronts.
Good point, Mark. So we really have some cold air coming in behind this, and you're going to notice a big change with it for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, the National Weather Service has confirmed that it was an EF2 tornado that hit Ashdown, Arkansas this morning.
Our own Mike Siddell was in Ashdown today where he saw firsthand the damage from that storm.
For only the second time since 1950 here in Little River County in southwest Arkansas, a tornado killed a resident. That was this morning just after 5:30, a family of 5 across the street in a home as the tornado came through. The mom and dad were thrown from the house. He did not survive. She's in the hospital tonight in critical condition, coming out of surgery. She's in ICU. The 3 kids are in good shape. Some bumps and bruises. They're with their grandparents. National Weather Service doing a survey and saying this is EF2 damage. Winds between 111 and 135 miles an hour. They've got the road back open. This is Highway 32. We're about 10 miles from the town of Ashdown, and you can see some of the debris and damage behind me in this home, one of the many homes across the county. Now tonight the concern is all the thousands of residents in this county of only 15,000 that are without power as temperatures head down to the 50s. Next couple of days, plenty of sunshine and beautiful weather for the cleanup here as they get the power back on and highs in the 70s. Back to you.
Thanks so much, Mike. Well, the Little River Sheriff's Office confirms that this is a picture of the tornado victim from earlier today in Ashdown, Arkansas. The picture shows the victim, Eddie Witham, and his wife, Roxanne Witham. And Roxanne and the couple's 3 children were injured in the EF2 tornado. You know, our hearts just breaking for this brave man who actually has been a Marine and fighting for our country. So, Mark, we're going to continue to see that threat for severe storms, and it does look like for the southeast, we may be next in line.
Yeah, unfortunately, that tornado threat still ongoing across the southeast, so severe storms will be raking their way across the south. Let's go through some of the timing for you. In places like Atlanta, you could still have a tornado threat, a tornado condition index of 3 out of 10, a 30% chance of seeing a tornado within about 50 miles. Strong winds over 60 miles per hour, isolated tornadoes and flash flooding all possible. The timing on this will be through the late night, early morning hours, and then right on through your lunch hour. So a couple of different times that you might be either asleep or on the road, things that you have to watch out for with regards to these storms. Here's Atlanta right now, and a couple of storms have already started firing up, moving south to north across the area. That said, the main show still well back off towards the west. Across Alabama, here's that line of storms making its way on through. So we have to watch out first for storms coming south to north in that warm, juicy air out of the head of the cold front, and then the cold front-induced storms themselves will track their way through the southeast. So for tonight, from Alabama, really central Alabama now, and points eastbound, we'll be following that line of storms moving on through. By tomorrow in the morning, we've got, let's say, western Georgia into Alabama, and then further east from there into Tuesday night, eastern Alabama into South Carolina. We will be following those storms for you. And still, again, that tornado threat is there, plus the very heavy rain threat. Anywhere in yellow here, including, let's say the North Georgia mountains, maybe 3 to 5 inches of rain. That could certainly cause some flooding concerns across the southeast. And with that, flash flood watches are up through much of the south into the Tennessee Valley. Tracking the latest storms next, plus the timing for when the storms get to the northeast.
Currently in our area, 82 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 78. Tuesday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 86. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Making us #1 in motorcycle insurance. Isn't this romantic?
It was.
Going the distance to save you more. Now that's Progressive.
Great. This is the last thing I need.
Seriously? The last thing you need is some guy giving you a new catalytic converter when all you got is a loose gas cap. Let's take this puppy over to Midas and get you some of that good old Midas touch. Dude, you know what? I'll drive. I really didn't think this through.
Get the Midas Touch maintenance package, including an oil change for only $24.99. And here's the deal. Use your Midas credit card and get a rebate of $25. Oil, tires, brakes, everything. Trust the Midas Touch.
Remember the invite? Remember to make reservations?
Absolutely.
Remember the tickets? Remember where we parked?
Absolutely.
The generously appointed Lexus ES and ES Hybrid with leading-edge connectivity. Unforgettable.
I can do anything.
The bed reacts to your body. It hugs you.
I don't have to think about how to get comfortable anymore.
The zip's off so I can wash it. Yes, please.
Dude, Tempur-Pedic is killing it. No more tossing and turning, trying to find a comfortable spot in bed.
It's really cool to the touch. My Tempur-Pedic cuddles better than my husband does. But that's just between you and me.
Visit your local retailer and feel the Tempur-Pedic difference for yourself.
There are cohabitants, and with that comes compromise. We give them a little extra space, accommodate their schedules, and sometimes we have to forgive. But when it comes to their nutrition, we never compromise. It's why at Petco, we're proud to offer Merrick, a leader in grain-free pet food made from regionally sourced ingredients in Merrick's own Texas kitchen to ensure the highest quality. Because for our best companions, only the best will do. Petco, the power of together.
Hands were made for talking. Feet, tiptoeing. Better things than the pain, stiffness, and joint damage of moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis. Before you and your rheumatologist decide on a biologic, ask if Xeljanz is right for you. Xeljanz tofacitinib is a small pill, not an injection or infusion, for adults with moderate to severe RA for whom methotrexate did not work well. Xeljanz can relieve RA symptoms and help stop further joint damage. Xeljanz can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers have happened in patients taking Xeljanz. Don't start Xeljanz if you have any infection, unless okay with your doctor. Tears in the stomach or intestines, low blood cell counts, and higher liver tests and cholesterol levels have happened. Your doctor should perform blood tests before you start and while taking Xeljanz, and routinely check certain liver tests. Tell your doctor if you have been to a region where fungal infections are common, and if you have had TB, hepatitis B or C, or are prone to infections. Tell your doctor about all the medicines you take. 1 pill, twice daily. Xeljanz can reduce RA pain and help stop further joint damage, even without methotrexate. Ask about Xeljanz.
And welcome back, everyone. We want to update you on the severe weather we're seeing here tonight. A line of storms continues from the Ohio Valley all the way to the Gulf Coast. We're seeing most of the warnings now in the south, especially here into Alabama. Possibly some of these severe storms coming into the Atlanta metro overnight tonight. But here's a look at one that is just east of Huntsville. This is Jackson, Madison, and Marshall counties under a severe thunderstorm warning for strong winds, possibly 60 to 70 mile-per-hour winds with this, heading in the northeastern Alabama at this time, and then some very heavy rain to follow. Limestone County under a flash flood warning. The ground is saturated. Flash flooding may be occurring, and that's right along 65. Watch the underpasses and watch the exit ramps as well. Flash flood warning also in Alabama. This is just west of Monroeville. Clark and Monroe under flash flood warnings at this time. We've seen over 2.5 inches of rain in the area. So this is why we're concerned about some of the flash flooding. 2.7 inches just southwest of Monroeville at this time. So we continue to see that threat. We'll keep you up to date on this tonight. But now it's time for a look at today's top 5 videos. The best video from around the world, and we're bringing it right to you.
And of course, a lot of the severe weather making an appearance on today's top 5. So in this case, the best of the worst. Tornado this morning in Ashdown, Arkansas. 1 person killed by this storm. 3 others injured. Tornado ripped through. Look at the damage. I mean, that's people's lives thrown around, and the entire home's just blown apart by these storms.
And could you imagine being in that car?
I can't.
And this was somebody, I believe there might have been a trailer, a mobile home there that was there. And number 4, more images coming in from the confirmed tornado here in Ashdown, Arkansas. This was this morning. Now watch as the driver looks at a home destroyed by a huge tree falling on it.
Yeah, and look how that debris field just seems to continue for this entire road. I mean, stuff is picked up by these strong winds and just thrown through the fields. It takes a while to go back through all that. I mean,
right.
It's a hard scene to walk through.
It is definitely hard to see, and that's what we're seeing that with the house that had the tree on it. And look at this. This is also this tree that's been snapped in half, and a lot of damage to homes because of trees falling on them.
Yeah, Monroe, Louisiana, we have all kinds of video from Monroe or just north of Monroe in Louisiana, and widespread tree damage here, Kim. These winds is so strong. I mean, that was a huge tree, a healthy tree snapped in half by these storms.
A lot of cleanup, that is for sure, in this area. And what's interesting is some of these homes don't even seem to be touched by this. So very interesting. And number 2, storm debris all over another area here where branches covering the ground in Monroe, Louisiana as well.
You know, this time of year, you're getting ready to do all the raking and the fall yard cleanup. This is a little bit excessive. Nobody wants to go back through and clean up branch after branch and limb after limb because of storms that move through the area.
No, it looks like sidewalks are blocked, people's homes damaged. Just terrible, just terrible. And, you know, you could imagine why we have a fatality or a death because of a tree falling on a house. This is why.
Yeah, absolutely. And here is the number 1 in the list today. The people in West Monroe, Louisiana, don't film this outside, guys. Look at that. All that debris comes flying on through. They could easily have been hit by debris when that storm came on through.
And of course the pool, I'm sure, there's a lot of cleanup doing that pool with all the debris flying around. And look at it, it's horizontal. You know, it's not just like dropping. It is flying horizontally because of those very strong winds through this area. So we want to show your video and pictures. If you send them to us, do it safely, please. Send it to weather.com/photos. And again, we'd love to see your videos and pictures. Maybe it'll make it our top 5 as well. Let's talk about those storms, though, now and where they might be headed. Mark.
Yeah, these storms still racing off towards the east and eventually the northeast as well. Rain and storms, you're not out of the mix. We haven't forgotten about you. Let's look at a place like Pittsburgh, which right now is in the clear, right? 65 degrees. Winds are fairly light. But as we take the bigger zoom out through the northeast corridor, this high pressure zone is not going to protect you for long as we have this warm front that's going to be trying to eke its way into the area, and that whole system is going to be making its way towards the east. So some storms tomorrow across central PA and the east side of the Appalachian chain, but we really fill in Wednesday. Ohio, West Virginia, Kentucky, severe storm threat Wednesday. By Thursday, it's the I-95 corridor. You get showers and storms coming into play for you by the time we get into Wednesday into Thursday. Heavy rain a potential as well, and we're tracking the storms where they are right now next.
This is Gordon, downtown for a sales call, west side for a presentation, meeting after meeting, after meeting. That's why Gordon stops at Exxon and Mobil for fuels that help his engine run cleaner, smoother, and with better fuel economy. So he can make it to the meeting that matters most. Gordon is energy. Exxon and Mobil. Energy lives here.
Sunday nights.
When the wind blows.
The Weather Channel unravels nature's darkest secrets.
I saw something. I don't know how to explain it.
Every Sunday.
It's a story that's got a life of its own.
A new tale of weather legend.
It may have just looked like a storm, but they were dealing with something far worse.
American Supernatural. Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 82 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 78. Tuesday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 86. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
One more stop. Let's go base, shark, blitz. Base, shark, blitz.
When the game's on the line.
Okay, this is for the game.
The NFL trusts Duracell Quantum to power their game day communication.
Flag 19's on. Abort, he's keeping it.
Duracell Quantum lasts up to 35% longer than the competition.
It's Chevy Truck Month, time when truck guys can depend on great offers on the 2014 North American Truck of the Year. Chevy Silverado, from the family of the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size pickups on the road. It's Truck Month. Trade up to this Silverado Crew Cab LT All-Star Edition for a total value of $8,500. It's Truck Month. See your local Chevy dealer today.
This is our new turkey cranberry flatbread before we craft it into a sandwich. The tender, slow-roasted turkey, the zesty cranberry mostarda, the freshly baked flatbread, paired perfectly with our autumn squash soup. A delicious meal made just for you, only at Panera Bread.
Apples are good. As Strongbow Hard Cider, better. But Strongbow over ice is the best. Enjoying Strong...
Sheila, you see this ball control? You see this, right? It's 80% confidence and 64% knee brace. That's more. Shh. I know that's more than 100%, but that's what winners give. Now bicycle kick your old 401k into an IRA.
I know.
Listen, just get TD Ameritrade's rollover consultants on the horn. They'll guide you through the whole process. It's simple. Even she could do it. Whatever, Janet.
For all the confidence you need, TD Ameritrade. You got this.
Fact. 75% of Americans have some form of gum disease and are at almost twice the risk for heart attacks and strokes. Preventing gum disease is achievable by daily brushing and flossing and keeping regular dental visits. With 6 convenient locations across South Florida, CETA Dental would like to help you manage your risks. Call today to schedule your next checkup. CETA Smile, CETA Difference. CETA Dental.
499-6188 or go online to beactivebrace.com. Call or click today.
If you missed this Sunday night on the Weather Channel, you'll never know how twisted weather can be. Wicked Weather Sundays, every Sunday night at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Well, storms blasted through central Illinois earlier. Look at the traffic lights dangling there. Power poles and light poles bent over and broken on the street in Long Creek, Illinois. You never want to be on a road that has the street lights dangling there. That is not going to be an easy drive. Nasty storms came on through the area, that's for sure. And these storms continue to track towards the east through the Ohio Valley, and they're moving through the southeast, where there is a brand new tornado watch just issued. It does include the Atlanta area all the way down I-85, eastern portions of Alabama. Goes until 6 a.m. Central Time, and then once you cross the time zone, that would be 7 a.m. Eastern Time. So that's what we're watching, where these storms are going to be going next. But here's where the storms are right now. And it is this line of storms from Nashville all the way to, let's say Mobile. And we are following a lot of strong storms within this area. We'll start off with the one that does have a severe thunderstorm warning on it at this point. Here's the Huntsville area, just east of Huntsville. Severe thunderstorm warning for Jackson and Marshall counties. This goes until 11 o'clock. Now, the biggest threat across this area is the straight line winds, but we are seeing some of these kind of kinks in the line where sometimes you're getting winds that are kind of going in towards the storm and then back out the other side. So a little bit of rotation possible here. We'll have to carefully monitor that. That's why the newest watch is a tornado watch. There could be brief spin-ups of tornadoes across this area. Behind the main line of storms, steady rain continuing. So just outside Huntsville towards I-65, we've got Limestone County, a flash flood warning ongoing until 2 a.m. So Kim, a lot to cover with the active weather, but the tropics active as well.
Very active, crazy. A busy scene actually right here in the San Juan area. The international airport has been very busy. Many flights were canceled today because of Gonzalo. The hurricane is expected to impact Puerto Rico today. So we're going to see possibly tropical storm force winds. We are not going to see a direct impact, meaning the center of this hurricane is not going to go right over Puerto Rico, but we're going to feel the effects from some of the outer bands of rain and some very strong winds, maybe tropical storm force winds from this. So yes, you still should take it very seriously, and also the flash flooding threat is there. Let's go ahead and show you now what we're talking about when Mark said we're very busy in the Atlantic. Not just the Atlantic, but also in the Pacific. We actually have a new tropical storm. This is Anna, okay, and we're concerned because Hawaii is right here to the northwest of this, and we may be looking at a hurricane affecting Hawaii over the next couple days, maybe towards the weekend. But we also have 3 areas here in the Atlantic, and we're going to talk about a couple of these. We're going to start out with Gonzalo, though. The latest advisory, winds are up to 85 miles per hour, continues to strengthen. The pressure is 984 millibars, and Air Force hurricane hunters were out there today, and we'll continue to, I'm sure, to get reports from them overnight and tomorrow as well. So getting us some great information. It's moving northwest at 12. Here's Puerto Rico, and we're seeing the outer edges now, some of the cirrus clouds coming over Puerto Rico right now. But if you think about the way this thing, the way the cyclone, the flow of it, it's cyclonic. So we have it going this direction, the winds around it. So that means a north wind into Puerto Rico, and you have mountain ranges right here. So especially the northern side of the mountain of Puerto Rico, we could see maybe some flash flooding with some of these rain bands coming in and upslope conditions. But the core of this actually going to miss Puerto Rico. So we have the British Virgin Islands up here. We may be seeing the effects of this very soon, and we're going to show you the radar here in just a second, and showing actually just to the west of it, some of the outer bands very strong on that west side. Starting to see a little bit of an increase on the right side of this. There's the eye right here, and notice it's everything, all the islands are off to the west. So this thing continues to track this direction, so we will not see a landfall from this system. Now, you can see the streamlines or the winds, the way the wind direction I talked about, those northerly winds into Puerto Rico, that could be a problem for us. So here's the forecast, taking it towards the northwest, and we'll see a couple bands of rain coming into Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic possibly, and then it's gone. Now it's going to be moving over very warm waters, maybe 85 degrees or so, and that's going to help intensify this. And we don't see much wind shear with this, and we have enough moisture in the atmosphere to help this thing really move along, or actually strengthen to possibly a Cat 3 hurricane as it gets close to Bermuda. So if you're in Bermuda, this is another one we have to watch out for. You're way up here, but this is forecast to track this direction because of this system moving across the U.S. will help steer it in your direction with time. So keep an eye on this, of course. We'll talk more about Anna coming up at 20 after the hour. Mark?
And another hour of Weather Center Live is just 1 minute away. In fact, we're going to be on with you through the night into the morning. You can also get coverage through online streaming, updates on your Weather Channel app. We'll be back in just 60 seconds.
Currently in our area, 82 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 78. Tuesday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 86. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Up from a dead sleep, the lightning woke me up, and I heard sound like I guess you'd say a freight train running in your backyard, and there ain't no track back there for it to run on.
Try to imagine what it was like, a freight train in your backyard. This man's story just one of many in this October severe outbreak. At least a dozen tornado reports, with more potentially through the overnight, and hundreds of damage reports since this morning.
And this is Ashdown, Arkansas, one of at least 2 cities where this outbreak turned deadly. An EF2 tornado killed a Marine. His wife is in intensive care. Storms also killed a man in Alabama when a tree fell on his home.
And unfortunately, this threat is not over. It stretches all the way through Wednesday into the Northeast. By then, millions more still at risk, from Texas and Louisiana up to Pennsylvania.
Hey everyone, it's top of the hour. I'm Kim Cunningham. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Mark Elliott. And it is a potentially very dangerous night as these storms are still ongoing through the overnight hours. Let's go through the latest watches from the Storm Prediction Center. We'll start off towards the north, including Louisville, a tornado watch until 1 a.m. That is right along the highway there. We can travel down a little bit further south into central Tennessee and central Alabama. Tornado watch there until 12 a.m. The newest watch in eastern Alabama, Georgia, and portions of east central Tennessee. Tornado watch there until 6 a.m. And furthest south, we do have one tornado watch down towards Mobile and portions of the I-10 corridor in Florida until 3 a.m. So the bottom line here, Kim, is that we've got this threat through the overnight hours, lasting longer the further east you are, but you got to have a way to get your warnings. You got to pay attention to these storms overnight.
Yeah, hopefully you have a NOAA weather radio possibly, or maybe you're able to get notifications on your cell phone. But it does seem like we're going to need that maybe into Georgia here overnight tonight, so hopefully you have a way to be notified.
Yeah, and of course, the storm report map absolutely filled in with this line of storms. Widespread reports of wind damage, and tree damage, and a few tornado reports as well.
Yeah, we've had well over 200 reports of severe storms today, and most of them have been wind damage. But as you mentioned, there have been a few isolated reports of tornadoes with this. I think very lucky overall, Mark, and some very heavy rain even farther north.
Yeah, the flooding rain, even along this line of storms, is going to be a factor tonight. Trying to sleep through this is going to be a very difficult adventure for much of the southeast.
That's true, and a lot of people probably won't sleep well knowing that we have possibly severe storms. It's always hard to go to sleep when you know you're under a tornado watch and the storms aren't there yet. So again, way to be notified, very important. We have a line of storms that continue to march east. Right now, the biggest threat right now, Mark, that we're seeing is flash flooding. We've got flash flood warnings just west of Huntsville, and actually around the Florence area. We've had tree damage being reported here as this line moved through. No active warnings on that line just now as far as severe, but we want folks to know very heavy rain will come with it and follow it, maybe up to 3 inches.
A multifaceted punch, right? You've got the wind and then the bursts of heavy rain, but then a prolonged period of heavy rain behind that, and widespread lightning as well. So lightning, thunder, flooding, wind, we've got it all with these storms.
Yeah, and hopefully you have a way to wake up in the morning in case you lose power and you're relying on your alarm clock. Make sure your battery operated is always a good one to have. But 3.4 inches of rain around Monroeville. That's just west of Interstate 65. Some very heavy rain, and also expecting some of that to move east with time. So we're going to show you now what it looks like on putting it into the future radar. Seeing the storms come through Atlanta during the overnight hours towards the morning. Looks like a horrible maybe morning rush hour in Atlanta. Maybe they'll be through by then, but maybe some rain coming in behind it. But then then by 11 o'clock tomorrow night, we're talking about this being into, it looks like, into the Carolinas and Mid-Atlantic states.
And that gives you the flavor of these storms, right? It doesn't have to be the exact timing that we'll see as these storms roll on through, but it does appear that we're still going to have a line of storms that holds together all the way through the southeast. So if you haven't gotten these storms yet, they're coming because this setup isn't changing.
No, it's not. You know, until this front clears us, we are in this. So expect the moist flow, the southerly winds to continue as the front approaches. Once the front comes through, we'll switch around more towards a west-northwesterly wind. You're going to see some significant temperature changes behind it. But we've got the jet stream energy with us. We've got the moisture. We've got the low-level jet. And that's maybe what we're tapping here tonight as far as bringing some of those stronger winds down to the surface, Mark. And that's what we're going to see, maybe some wind damage tonight as well.
Yeah, one thing that does appear to be the case is that those winds at the different layers seem to become more aligned the further east we go. So the tornado threat should go down a little bit, but that might mean that the straight line wind threat increases towards the rest of the southeast.
Absolutely right. So a few isolated tornadoes possible, but I really think we need to focus on the straight line wind damage for many people here tonight. Again, seeing isolated warnings with this, again, with that tornado watch. But here's the forecast for tonight, expecting severe weather. This area, I'm not so sure about anymore here tonight, Mark. It's mainly further south.
And still, people always underestimate that straight line wind damage. Of course, there have been some tornadoes, and that's still a potential. And this morning marked the first death from an October tornado in 5 years. Meteorologist Mike Seidel was in Ashdown, Arkansas.
It was just after 5:30 this morning that severe thunderstorms raced through Little River County. This is where the tornado touched down and killed a father of 3. It was the first death in this county from a tornado since 1950. Severe weather tore through the south today. Hurricane-force wind gusts ripped roofs off homes, uprooted trees, and down power lines.
We've got several tornado warnings.
This time-lapse video shows the line as it barreled into southern Arkansas. A confirmed EF2 tornado cut a line of destruction near the town of Ashdown, overturning tractor trailers and destroying buildings. A father of 3 was killed when he and his wife were thrown from their home. Their children were trapped under the debris.
Their mother is in intensive care right now, but she's stable. And then the father didn't make it.
In Monroe, Louisiana, tens of thousands of people are powerless tonight after a possible tornado. Heavy damage was reported at the University of Louisiana campus, and a gas leak forced a high school to be evacuated. In Texas, lightning ignited fires in an oil well in nearby homes. Late today in Illinois, several homes were destroyed in the Belleville area. The big issue tonight is getting the power back on the thousands in the county. Behind me, the guys from Southwest Arkansas Electric are getting the poles back up and hoping to get the lights back on as soon as possible, with temperatures tonight falling down into the 50s. I'm Weather Channel meteorologist Mike Seidel in Ashdown, Arkansas.
Thanks, Mike. And unfortunately, it's going to take a while to get the power turned back on because this is a widespread event, and this power outages will continue to increase further towards the south and east. So Louisiana, almost 30,000 customers without power at this point. Alabama, 33,000. Not quite as high for Florida or Illinois, but that potential in Florida, in Georgia, and the rest of Alabama still could increase through the rest of the night. And of course, millions still in that threat area tonight through Wednesday.
And if you're in a house without a basement or a dorm or an apartment, avoid the windows.
Yeah, you want to go to the lowest floor, get inside a small center room like a bathroom or a closet. And if you don't have those, you can go under a stairwell or an interior hallway with no windows.
And of course, crouch as low as possible.
Here at High Acres, we always say life is better on the farm. And that's because we love what we do, which is growing the best tasting fruit available. After months of nurturing, our orchards are bursting with crispy, delicious apples. And we can't wait for you to taste them. That's why we work with Walmart. They help us deliver some of the freshest apples available, backed by their 100% money-back guarantee.
Picked by farmers, guaranteed by us.
You change your style. Why not your eye color? New Air Optics Colors prescription contact lenses enhance your eye color for a naturally beautiful look with consistent comfort. Find your perfect color and get a free trial offer at airopticscolors.com.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're covered, Kevin. Blah, blah, insurance. Person, come help.
Hey, Grandma. 6 callers ahead of us Thanks, Jimmy.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. There to help you get to a better state.
It's just freaking me out.
If you missed this Sunday night on the Weather Channel,
this is crazy.
You'll never know how twisted weather can be.
Is it real? Yeah, it's real.
Wicked Weather Sundays with strangest weather on Earth and American Supernatural. Every Sunday night at 9, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 82 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 78. Tuesday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 86. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
On AMHQ.
Let's get you in front of today's weather.
The biggest weather hour anywhere.
What a gorgeous start.
Weekday mornings on the Weather Channel.
There it is. This is where I met your grandpa. Right under this tree.
Some things are worth holding on to.
They're hugging the tree.
That's why we got a Subaru.
Wasn't that tree?
Introducing the all-new Subaru Outback. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
This is a Pip.
It's part of a Hershey's bar.
We break it.
We bite it.
We sneak it.
We smush it. We savor it.
We love it.
Hershey's is mine.
Yours. Our chocolate.
You smell nothing. You smell nothing.
Introducing the best lightweight litter for odor elimination, guaranteed. Fresh Step Extreme. Lightweight.
Storms continue to plow towards the east. Some new images out of Madison County, Alabama, where very gusty winds brought down trees, which then landed on power lines. The cleanup already began before dark. Unfortunately, even more storms continue to roll through that area and cause more tree damage. So this cleanup is going to continue for a while. As you can see, trampolines thrown. Those are pretty easy to go once the winds pick up. But fences blown down, trees knocked down not only onto power lines, but onto people's cars. Breaking their property there, breaking the fences, landing on homes. Look at that car, absolutely crushed by that tree. So Kim, my goodness, a lot of tree damage across the southeast, and with these gusty winds, that will continue to be a theme through the night.
Something to worry about, too, especially where we have had a lot of heavy rain as well. You know, it doesn't take much to bring down some of those pines here in the south. So looking right now where we have the line of storms from Kentucky near Ohio all the way down to the Gulf Coast, several different lines. We've got some storms coming up from the Gulf of Mexico out ahead of it. Another little line that's developed right here out ahead of the main line. So a couple of areas to watch here along the Gulf Coast. And then eventually we're going to see some of those storms getting into western Georgia during the overnight hours. Right now, there are no active severe thunderstorm warnings. Now, we could see some strong winds with some of these storms. Again, we do have those watches out this evening. But we're looking at this line right here. With this, we could see, especially where some of the areas are bowing out, like right in there. And then right in this area here, we might see some strong winds, maybe 50-mile-per-hour winds. That's enough maybe to do a little bit of damage, too. Farther west, though, it's heavy rain. Once the main line comes through, you're dealing with rain all the way back into western parts of Alabama and heavy rain. So that's a problem 2.1 inches of rain in somewhat of a short period of time will cause some flash flooding. That's why there are flash flood warnings up for this area. And farther south in Alabama as well, around Monroeville, just west of there, flash flood warning continues for Clark and Monroe County. That's mainly west of Interstate 65, east of 65. That's where we're dealing with some of the big storms and some strong winds as well. So some areas getting well over 2 inches of rain with this. It's not over with yet either. So we're going to see some areas picking up well over 3 inches, I believe, before this is all over with. That's within the last 6 hours. So our forecast for tomorrow, this is a morning event in western part of this red area. Then farther east during the daytime includes Cincinnati, Atlanta, Tallahassee. Just beware. We could see some strong winds, maybe isolated tornadoes. Mark, back to you.
And Kim, we're not done yet. Further north into the Midwest, closer to where that area of low pressure that's fueling this whole mess is hanging out. So a severe storm threat continues across the Midwest as well. We start out with what the radar looks like right now, and heavy rain and southerly winds have pummeled Green Bay up through Marquette. Extremely heavy rains for you. But the area of low pressure responsible for all this is actually all the way back here north of Kansas City. Of course, there was no ball game there tonight because of the steady rains. They were just in the worst possible spot. That wraparound moisture came right on through. Heavy rains across central Iowa, and then of course further north just outside Minneapolis for that steady rain. So here's the area of low pressure right now. Warm front extended out towards the east from that, so southerly winds cranking up the moisture out ahead of the low and out ahead of the cold front. But we're going to continue to see that moisture kind of wrapping back around as we go through the next several days here. That said, we're not done yet in places like Kansas City or Des Moines. You're going to have continuing showers tonight. By tomorrow, that wraparound precip goes through St. Louis, eventually Chicago, with the severe weather out ahead of it towards the east. And by Tuesday night, Ohio, down through West Virginia, the Tennessee Valley, you could still see some severe storms. It's a slow-moving storm system, so we have 24, if not 48 more hours to follow it, bringing the severe weather and the hefty rains along with it. Kim, over to you.
And we are with you tonight to track the severe storms. They affect millions of people, but we're also watching the Atlantic. Hurricane Gonzalo is approaching Puerto Rico or getting close to it. We're going to show you the timing on this coming up.
Musical chairs. Fun, right? Well, not when your travel rewards card makes it so hard to get a seat using your miles. That's their game. The flights you want are blacked out, or they ask for some ridiculous number of miles. Honestly, it's time to switch to the Venture card from Capital One. With Venture, use your miles on any airline, any flight, anytime, no blackout dates. And with every purchase, you'll earn unlimited double miles. From now on, no one's taking your seat away. What's in your wallet?
Fatherhood. Lesson number 1.
Deep sea delight.
Pregnant wives have late-night cravings.
The ice cream, please.
Lesson number 2. Make sure you get her ice cream in a cup with a lid.
That's why you want accident forgiveness from Allstate. It keeps your rates from going up just because of an accident. Plus, when you switch today, you could save up to 10% more on your auto policy.
Just a few more ways. The good hands are doing more than ever before.
Call 866-532-0707 now.
Making jackets that are built to perform anywhere is hard work. And at LL Bean, we take our job very seriously. Guaranteed quality, no matter what you're up against. From LL Bean.
Apples are good. A Strongbow hard cider, better. But Strongbow over ice is the best. Enjoying Strongbow over ice with your slow-motion horse? The bestest. Strongbow, world's #1 hard cider.
This week on America's Morning Headquarters, going green sounds great, but can you do it and stay high-tech? Gadget guru Jen Jolly shows us the tools we need to go eco and tech.
At Seaside Palm Beach, we recognize that you may have other obligations in your life. When you're here, you'll be able to bring your laptop. We encourage you to bring your phone. We don't want you disconnected from the rest of the world. Where other treatment centers will not allow you to have these things, we know that you have a life, but we're going to help you live that life better than when you came here. Your transition from chemically dependent to chemical-free will be as painless as possible. Seaside, Palm Beach, please come see us.
Did you know 7 of the 10 costliest hurricanes to make landfall in U.S. history caused insured losses in Florida? Hurricane force winds can exert more than 1 ton of pressure on an exterior door or window. Property losses from a storm can have a catastrophic impact on your finances or those of your business. Weston Insurance Company offers windstorm insurance and may be the most affordable option for your home or business. Weston, for when the wind blows.
Headlights in just seconds. The last time you'll have to restore your headlights. Call 1-800-709-2281. Order now.
Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend. American Supernatural, Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Stay tuned for your local on the 8, brought to you by Del Monte's yummy new Fruit Burst Squeezers.
What's in a can of Del Monte green beans?
If I was a flower growing wild and free, all I'd want is you to be my sweet honeybee. And if I was a tree growing tall and green, all I'd want is you to shade me and be my leaf.
Grown in America, picked and packed at the peak of ripeness, with no artificial ingredients. Del Monte, bursting with life.
Currently in our area, 82 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Overnight, partly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 78. Tuesday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 86. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Well, damage across the southeast. Look at the Red Roof Inn and the sign that used to be on the roof of the Red Roof Inn. Now it's on the ground. All due to these storms that plowed through the area. That one on a pole that completely fell across the area. Lots of tree damage, lots of power line damage, more buildings that got hit by these very gusty winds. A whole roof gone there. That building has a lot of cleanup to go. That is for sure. Lots of mangled buildings from this system in Monroe, Louisiana. Gusty winds from thunderstorms that moved on through, potentially a tornado there. The National Weather Service will be checking on all that damage over the next day or so. Here's that same line of storms now well outside of Louisiana, but moving through Alabama, through Tennessee, and slowly towards Georgia. The line's still packing a punch here, and at times we can see these kind of kinks in the line and these bows. That's what the National Weather Service is going to be watching for the line itself. The bowing segments indicating gusty winds, but sometimes on the north side or the south side of those bows, we can get a little bit of rotation and brief tornado spin-ups also. Not to mention the extremely heavy rain that we've been seeing. So outside Huntsville, Limestone County, we are still under a flash flood warning. That goes until 2 a.m. So traveling along 65 or 59, extremely difficult tonight. Very heavy rains. Here's 65, the 65 corridor. Here's Monroeville, and still a flash flood warning for Clark and Monroe counties. That one goes until 3:45 in the morning as these storms continue to move on through. So just because the first burst of rain is done and the first gusty winds are done doesn't mean that the heavy rain is done. Here's the timing of that line generally all the way towards Atlanta, maybe getting there around 5:55 in the morning. A very bad morning commute for much of the southeast on the way. Kim.
All right, Mark, we'll keep you up to date on that, but we also want to make sure you are aware of what's going on here around Puerto Rico and points south of Leeward Islands and Antigua. Look at this Hurricane Gonzalo. This is what it did as it moved across the area. Very strong winds with this. Now it is a hurricane. Let's check and see how it may affect our friends and maybe even loved ones in Puerto Rico. So it's time for the tropical update. We got a very busy Atlantic right now. We actually have 3 systems in the Atlantic that we're keeping an eye on. Of course, Faye, which is moving away. Invest 91L, that's right here in the central part of the Atlantic. This one doesn't have a chance to develop, only about a 10% chance. Very strong upper level winds keeping that from happening. We have Tropical Storm Anna, and this may be affecting Hawaii towards the weekend, and it is forecast to become a hurricane. Let's start out with Hurricane Gonzalo, though. As you can see right now in our infrared satellite picture, Puerto Rico is right here, and the system itself, the center of it, is off to the east. But as you know, with tropical systems, you don't have to be under the center or near the center to feel the effects of this. And we think we're going to get some maybe tropical storm force winds in Puerto Rico here tonight in the British Virgin Islands as well, which is just now getting underneath probably some of the heavier rain bands with this. So you can see San Juan already dealing with some of the cirrus clouds, looking at the convection mainly to the west over the thunderstorm activity to the west, getting some of the banding in there. You could see some of that thunderstorms trying to really wrap around the center. There's the eye right in the middle, and some of the rain bands that are swinging around into Puerto Rico, where we could see maybe some isolated areas of heavy rain. The forecast become a major hurricane moving north and east, maybe affecting Bermuda towards the weekend. But now let's update you on Tropical Storm Anna with winds at 40 miles per hour. It doesn't look very organized at this point. Seeing some thunderstorms starting to fire up here on the eastern side. The pressure 1,005 millibars. The forecast takes it close to Hawaii. The Big Island needs to watch this very carefully. Looks like towards the weekend, we could be looking latter part of the weekend, possibly making landfall. Mark?
Thanks, Kim. And of course, we're still following these storms for you. And if you find yourself in the middle of this storm, we're trying to keep you weather ready. So if you're in a tornado warned area, seek shelter in a sturdy building. Avoid taking shelter under bridges if you're in your car, and try to get away from the storms by moving at right angles to any tornado that you can see. Of course, it's nighttime. That's dangerous. So keep it tuned right here.
Need brakes? Pep Boys has the best brake service at the best price. Right now, get $50 off instantly on Precision Match brake service exclusively at Pep Boys. That's $50 off instantly. Trust the boys to get you there.
Apples are good, as Strongbow hard cider better. But Strongbow over ice is the best. Enjoying Strongbow over ice with your slow motion horse, the bestest. Strongbow, world's #1 hard cider.
Shopping online is as easy as it gets. Wouldn't it be great if hiring plumbers, carpenters, and even piano tuners were just as simple? Thanks to Angie's List, now it is. Start shopping online from a list of top-rated providers.
Visit angieslist.com today.
Premium for the year? Hi, sorry, just want to say, I bundled home and auto with State Farm, saved $760. Love this guy. So
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky!
Savings worth talking about. State Farm.
From residential to commercial, from large loss to emergency response. Whenever damage strikes, call on the cleanup team that's faster to any size disaster at 1-800-SERVE-PRO, like it never even happened.
Introducing a PM pain reliever that dares to work all the way until the AM. New Aleve PM, the only one with a safe sleep aid plus the 12-hour strength of Aleve.
We put all the apps you love inside a car designed to connect you to a world of possibilities. The Connected Car by Volvo. Innovating for you.
Discover Card, how can I help you?
Oh,
You're real?
you know I'm real. At Discover, we're always here to talk.
Good.
Because I don't have time for machines.
Some companies just don't appreciate the power of conversation.
You know I like you. I like you too.
At Discover, we treat you like you'd treat you. Get the IT card and talk to a real person.
If you have Medicare Part D, you could be at the corner of, I'm throwing away money, and I had no idea. Well, Walgreens has your back. Our expert pharmacists make it easy for you to save on your prescriptions, so you can keep your money where it belongs. Swing by Walgreens, where you could save even more with Medicare prescription copays as low as $0. At the corner of happy and healthy.
Zantac heartburn alert! Stop!
Nexium can take 24 hours to work. Zantac's different. Zantac rushes relief in as little as 30 minutes. For relief without the wait, try Zantac. No pill relieves heartburn faster.
Tomorrow.
I bought 51% of this business. I now control you, and I can throw you out.
Marcus Lemonis does whatever it takes to fix a failing business.
I'm 100% in charge.
The Prophet. All new episodes premiere tomorrow, 10 Eastern and Pacific, on the fastest growing network in prime time.
What I say goes.
CNBC.
Currently in our area, 82 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Overnight, partly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 78. Tuesday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 86. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Sunday night on the Weather Channel, you'll never know how twisted weather can be. Wicked Weather Sundays, every Sunday night at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Well, these storms really blasted through Monroe, Louisiana. I mean, feel that. People are outside when they really shouldn't be. All that debris starts flying off the roof from down the street, and that could have hit these people as they were filming this gusty wind event and rain and potentially a tornado in Monroe, Louisiana. So, Kim, it was just a crazy day across much of the South, and it's still ongoing tonight.
And we want folks to know that we still have that threat. We're going to show you those watches in just a moment. But this is actually still some more damage here now. Ashdown, Arkansas, a confirmed EF2 tornado that tore through this area. And actually, it's right near the Texas border. The structure was leveled, and we've seen cars overturned.
Yeah, cars that looked like they were flipped like toys and pummeled by debris as well. And that potential still exists tonight. Very gusty winds moving through the southeast. It's the bottom of the hour here on Weather Center Live. I'm Mark Elliott.
And I'm Kim Cunningham. This October severe weather outbreak has turned deadly. Let's get the latest on what's happened so far. At least 2 deaths are actually contributed to these storms. A Marine died after an EF2 tornado threw him out of his home with his wife and children in Ashdown, Arkansas. Second person died after a tree fell on her home in Walker County, Alabama. In Louisiana, Governor Bobby Jindal has declared a state of emergency. More than 60,000 people are without power here in Louisiana and Alabama. But we're also looking at the potential for maybe more power outages here tonight as well.
Yeah, because the storm threat is still with us. So through the overnight hours, several areas of concern. These are the areas where severe weather is possible, according to the Storm Prediction Center. To the north here along 65, tornado watch until 1 a.m. We jump down into central Tennessee, northern portions of Alabama, and let's say west central Alabama, tornado watch until 12 a.m. However, further towards the east, including southeast Tennessee, much of western Georgia and Atlanta, and southeastern Alabama, tornado watch through the night until 6 a.m. Central Time or 7 a.m. Eastern Time, depending on where you are within that watch area. Plus down towards the Gulf Coast, towards the west here, Tuesday until 3 a.m. this tornado watch, while closer to Tallahassee on the east side goes until 6 a.m. there. So again, the bottom line here, Kim, is that through the night, especially the further east you are, you really have to have a way to get these warnings and pay attention to the storms.
Absolutely. Hopefully you have a plan. And we have seen many of you today having to deal with some of that severe weather. Well over 2 250 reports of severe storms. We're going to show you some of the storm reports, and you could see a lot of them, Mark, anywhere from Illinois all the way down to the Gulf Coast.
Yeah, and so what these icons mean, the kind of squiggly lines that you see down over like New Orleans, those are just plain straight old gusty winds. The broken tree branches is some sort of tree or structure damage from the wind. There have been some tornado icons on there, those red symbols, but a lot of them masked by the straight line wind and tree damage.
All right, we're going to take a look now at some of the radars and show you what we're concerned about. And Mark, you know, we have that new watch that's been issued here for western parts of Georgia, where not much is happening. You mentioned earlier that some of these storms came through, they pretty much fizzled out. However, I think as all of this starts to head east, we have the upper level disturbance that is going to be catching up a little bit with this. That we actually may start to see more warnings coming out. We're released right now, we're not seeing it, but that upper level disturbance gets closer. We're going to maybe start to see some of these get warnings on them. And look at this, just to the northwest of Chattanooga, this line of storms coming in could produce some strong winds.
Yeah, and that looks like it's trying to bow out right towards that I-24 symbol. It's trying to get a little bit of that backward C shape, indicating very gusty winds moving from west to east across the area. And that's kind of a bad layout for I-24, as it will cross that highway perpendicular to the road. So high-profile vehicles, if you're listening in the back of the cab, you might be the time to kind of pull over and face the wind so you don't get blown over by these gusty winds.
Good point, Mark. And eventually Interstate 75 may be affected as well. So look at 65, flash flooding here. We have flash flood warnings in effect. Limestone County under a flash flood warning. And Mark, we have dew points in the 60s and 70s, so we have a lot of moisture to work with. And when you have these storms develop and all this rain comes down, we're seeing rainfall rates of 1 inch per hour, accumulations up to 3 inches.
Yeah, inch per hour for several hours in a row.
Right.
And the ground just can't take that amount of moisture. It's like a saturated sponge that you then pour more water on top of. It just can't go in. It just has to roll off at that point.
And some of the areas here in southern parts of Alabama also reporting over 3 inches of rain. So in a short period of time, as you mentioned, it can't take it. You get runoff and you get flash flooding. So the big picture showing that upper level disturbance I was talking about. So here's the line of storms in here. This disturbance, what we're talking about, this thing is moving east, and it's actually catching up a little bit more, and we're going to see maybe more energy, more lift in the atmosphere, and the potential of maybe some of these storms going severe, and maybe starting to see some of them getting a little bit more enhanced here along the Gulf Coast.
Yeah, that green color popping up in the Florida Panhandle, we haven't seen that for the past several hours, so an indicator that maybe these storms are trying to strengthen a little bit.
Yeah, because that moisture is making it way up in the atmosphere, and that's how we're seeing it on our water vapor imagery. So looking right now at the temperatures, look at this, 76 mark. Now, we actually, our temperatures, I believe, went up a little bit.
Climbing a little. Our winds have now shifted to more southeasterly as opposed to due east, and that's helping to bring up the moisture and the temperatures in Atlanta.
And that's why the Storm Prediction Center says, you know what, we may be looking at something developing here overnight. We're starting to see the wedge breaking here in northern Georgia, more unstable conditions as that front gets closer.
But look what that southerly wind can do. Cincinnati 73, behind the front Jackson 63. Much further south, 10 degrees cooler.
Yeah, and even the 50s back here into Oklahoma. So we have a much colder air mass coming in behind this front. And so I wouldn't be surprised some of us even see temperatures climbing a little bit more ahead of the front overnight. And then the front comes through and we'll see the cool down.
And so, yeah, that moisture in play, and that's why we're watching these storms. Of course, the storms already came through southwest Arkansas, where residents are cleaning up after a confirmed tornado came through. EF2 tornado hit Ashdown, Arkansas this morning.
And there was damage to homes and cars, and we spoke to one victim who lost her home but found something positive in the aftermath.
The loss of the home is bad, but we had neighbors, friends, family, people that came, and they started bringing sausage and biscuits and water before daylight, and throughout the day brought food and offered their services. They brought equipment, everything from power saws to tractors and backhoes, and my yard has been full all day long with people just offering their services of whatever they could do to help. And it just shows that friends and neighbors, people that really didn't know, maybe know their face but didn't know them, and just here, what can I do? I'm here to help. And that's been a tremendous blessing, and been a support through all of this of knowing that we have people there to back us up. You know, we have people that care.
It's always amazing when a community comes together after a storm like this. And unfortunately, we're going to need you. We're going to need your community again as these storms are still moving their way across the south. If your house isn't affected, if your neighborhood isn't affected, we might need you to step up and help some of your neighbors tonight and into the next couple of days. In Atlanta, we're watching you. There is a tornado watch and play until 7 a.m. in the Atlanta area. Strong winds over 60 miles per hour. Some of those rotating in the tornado potential. So a 30% chance of seeing a tornado in Atlanta or in the 50-mile radius around the Atlanta area. Again, not much going on now, but that you see that kind of bursts. That is the lead of the southerly winds that's returned to the Atlanta area. That's what's pumping up the temperatures. Even in the nighttime hours, our temperatures are climbing. It's also pumping up the moisture. So we got these storms coming up from the south. Some of these were rotating down the Florida Panhandle. Then the big show comes through with these storms, which are already creating extremely gusty winds through the area in those kind of bowing segments. So gusty straight line winds a potential. So tonight, Alabama moving into Georgia, but by tomorrow, Georgia in the morning in the west, moving through the state, North Florida, and eventually into South Carolina, and by Tuesday night, all the way to the eastern seaboard. Kim.
And next we're tracking the latest storms, plus the timing for when these storms will hit the Northeast. And when a tornado warning pops up in your county, keep this in mind. If you are in a mobile home, very simply get out. Most tornadoes can destroy even tied down mobile homes. Get to the nearest sturdy permanent building. And we're back right after your local on the 8s.
Currently in our area, 82 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Overnight, partly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 78. Tuesday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 86. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Our new turkey cranberry flatbread before we craft it into a sandwich. The tender, slow-roasted turkey, the zesty cranberry mostarda, the freshly baked flatbread, paired perfectly with our autumn squash soup. A delicious meal made just for you, only at Panera Bread.
Brighten up your rainy day with a flatbread sandwich and soup from Panera Bread.
We all have to plan for retirement. But when we start worrying about tomorrow, we miss out on what matters today. At AXA, we offer advice and help you break down your retirement goals into small, manageable steps. Because when you plan for tomorrow, it helps you live for today. Can we help you take a small step? For advice, retirement, and life insurance, connect with AXA.
There are 2 reasons why I need to keep an eye on my health. That's why I take Metabiotic, a daily probiotic.
With 70% of your immune system in your gut, new Multi-Health Metabiotic with Bioactive 12 helps maintain digestive balance and is proven to help support a healthy immune system.
I take care of myself so I can take care of them.
Experience the Meta effect with our new Multi-Health Wellness line and see how one small change can lead to good things.
2 medium cappuccinos!
Let's show them what a breakfast with whole grain fiber can do.
I have 2 cappuccinos, medium macchiato, 2 espressos, 1 with double shot.
That's not the coffee talking.
Start your day with Kellogg's Frosted Mini Wheat Cereal. It's a delicious way to get the nutrition you want.
You know what my business philosophy is, Reynolds?
No, not exactly.
To attain success, I must project success. That's why we use FedEx One Rate.
They're flat rate shipping.
Exactly. It makes us look top-notch, but we know it's affordable. Honey, haven't I asked you to please use
We don't have a reception entrance.
Ship a pack via FedEx Express Saver for as low as $7.50.
This Halloween, when things go bump in the night, inspire daring pursuits that thrill and delight with goodies from PetSmart. Now save up to 25% on all Halloween treats, plus save 20% on all Halloween costumes. PetSmart.
Apples are good. As Strongbow Hard Cider, better. But Strongbow over ice is the best. Enjoying Strongbow over ice with your slow-motion horse? The bestest. Strongbow, world's #1 hard cider.
Remember the hassle of vacuuming before the Dyson DC-59 Motorhead? Before our direct drive cleaner head increased brush power to out-clean the 5 best-selling full-size vacuums across carpets and hard floors without the hassle of a cord.
Yoplait Light is now better than ever. It still melts in your mouth with 90 calories and is now aspartame-free. Yoplait Light. It is so good, it's better than ever.
Since 1902, Carrier has been inventing new ways to make people comfortable. And today, we're thinking even bigger, thinking about the specifics of your home and how you live in it. What if you could control your home's energy usage with a fingertip? Or just let us do all the work for you? Well, what if is now what is. Carrier. Turn to the experts.
Who the wants to hear actors talk?
Meet the unsung heroes of innovation who defied the doubters and changed the world. On How We Got to Now, Wednesday at 9, 8 Central, only on PBS.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. We want to continue to update you on the severe weather threat tonight. A new tornado watch in effect for western parts of Georgia, extending into Florida this evening because of a line of storms moving through Alabama and some storms developing out ahead of it. There's concern for the potential of severe weather moving in maybe into the northwestern suburbs of Atlanta over the next few hours. So look at this. Right now, there are no active severe thunderstorm warnings. We may start to see some warnings coming in with these storms here very soon. Already a warning just in the Chattanooga area. If you're in Hamilton, Marion, Sequatchie County, severe thunderstorm warning in effect. That means we could see winds well over 60 miles per hour with this. Actually, hail probably not a big threat at this point. It's mainly a wind damage threat. Also, flash flooding continues to be a concern as well. Limestone County, just to the west of Huntsville, still under a flash flood warning. We'll keep you updated on that, but it's right now time for a look at today's top 5 videos, the best video from around the world, and we're bringing it to you.
And of course, we're featuring a lot of the severe weather from earlier today to give you an idea of what could be coming at you through the overnight hours. So this video, important stuff to see. Here's number 5, where a tornado went through Ashdown, Arkansas, unfortunately killing 1 person, injuring at least 3 others. Look at that debris, Kim. My goodness, just a field of debris.
Yeah, everything damaged there in that area. And looking at this with the car totally flipped over. And I believe that was where a mobile home sat. So very scary stuff, and everybody's belongings just thrown about, just heartbreaking.
Yeah, cinder blocks and then nothing around it where you know something used to be there. How about this, number 4? This also from the Ashdown area, and look at the tree damage. Not only the debris as you drive down the road here, and just it seems to go on forever and ever and ever, but lots of tree damage, trees falling on homes, onto cars, onto fences. The cleanup is going to take days here because of all this tree damage.
Absolutely. And here in Monroe, Louisiana, this is how it looked this morning. You can see the tree, this large tree, snapped in half. That just tells you how strong these winds were.
It takes a lot to snap a healthy tree, not from the root system, which could be let go if the ground's real wet, but right there, to snap it in half like that, that takes some serious wind.
Absolutely. And also looking at some damage here and branches covering the ground, more from Monroe, Louisiana. And this is video number 2, I believe we're going to show you, of more of the damage we have seen. There we go. And you can see a lot of branches down, tree limbs down. with a lot of damage being done here.
Yeah, so that's why we say don't be outside filming this. Wait for the storms to be done, because if those branches started breaking off, they're thrown by the wind. They don't just fall right next to the tree. They are all over the area, easily to be hit by one of those.
And number one, people in West Monroe, Louisiana should probably not be outside. We don't recommend doing these shoots, or videotaping this when this is occurring. So please be careful when you're doing this. This is some of the debris that flew through this apartment complex and actually stirred up the pool a little bit. All right, you can upload your videos anytime at weather.com/photos. All right, we're watching this storm move east, Mark, and we're going to maybe see it affect the Northeast. Let's get the timing.
Eventually getting all the way into the Northeast corridor, believe it or not. So we're focusing on the south tonight, but we're not forgetting about you over the next couple of days here in the Northeast. Right now, you've got mostly clear skies in Pittsburgh, 64 degrees, but the wide view shows you what's coming down the pike, right? High pressure will exit the area, and our storm system and those clouds and all that moisture, it's going to be coming into play. So get ready. By tomorrow, we're looking at a few storms out ahead of the main show. The Ohio Valley already seeing severe weather by tomorrow. By Wednesday, look at this. D.C., you are in play for severe weather Wednesday. You're in the red zone. By Thursday, the rest of the I-95 corridor further to the north from D.C. to New York to Boston to Portland, Maine. Heavy rain, thunderstorms, gusty winds, all a potential as we see that kind of line of storms come through your area. Now, heavy rain is a potential as well, helped out by kind of the Appalachian chain, the Potomac Highlands, the Allegheny front there, that added lift from the higher elevations. But even all the way to the coastal areas, 1 to 2 inches of rain, so flooding also a concern. Checking out the tropics next.
A party?
Hi, I'm new Ensure Active Clear Protein Drink.
Clear, huh? My nutritional standards are high.
I'm not juice or fancy water. I've got 8 grams of protein.
Twist my lid. That's 3 times more than me.
17 vitamins and minerals.
And 0 fat.
You'll bring a lot to the party.
Yay!
New Ensure Active Clear Protein. 8 grams protein, 0 fat, 17 vitamins and minerals, and delicious blueberry pomegranate and mixed fruit. Take life in.
You're going to want to watch 7 a.m. on AMHQ.
This is a big weather morning.
The biggest weather hour anywhere. What you watch in the morning matters.
Is your weather geeky this morning?
Make AMHQ your morning show. America's morning headquarters. Weekday mornings starting live at 7 Eastern on the Weather Channel.
Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend. American Supernatural. Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 82 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Overnight, partly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 78. Tuesday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 86. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Every time you tie in an apron, you make progress. And we like that. Because progress is what we make too.
I was out for a bike ride. I didn't think I'd have a heart attack, but I did. I'm Mike, and I'm very much alive. Now my doctor recommends a Bayer aspirin regimen to help prevent another heart attack.
Be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin regimen.
You change your style,
Why not your eye color? New Air Optics Colors prescription contact lenses enhance your eye color for a naturally beautiful look with consistent comfort. Find your perfect color and get a free trial offer at airopticscolors.com.
Maybe you didn't know, people with the flu can spread it up to 6 feet away. Or that flu can make chronic conditions worse. Maybe you didn't know any of the stuff your Rite Aid pharmacist knows. But now that you've gotten your flu shot at Rite Aid, maybe you don't need to.
Be one with it, and it will be one with you. Be one with your...
This is a special health alert for seniors suffering with joint pain. If you have Medicare insurance, you may qualify for high-quality support braces at little or no cost.
I'm thrilled with my knee braces.
Now, there is a simple and proven solution for seniors to get out of pain with state-of-the-art support braces.
I barely feel any pain at all.
Braces for your knees and back, as well as your shoulders and ankles, too.
I'm so happy with the quality of these braces.
Call now, and you could qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost.
I can play ball again, and it doesn't hurt.
And because of my Medicare coverage, it costs me next to nothing.
So call now.
And because I have this red, white, and blue Medicare card, my braces have cost me just about nothing.
It's true. You may get a knee, back, shoulder, and ankle brace at little or no cost.
They qualified me for 2 knee braces and a back brace.
If you have knee or back pain, give them a call. They can help.
1-800-340-0643. 1-800-340-0643.
Something, what would I do without you? Every day. Zulily.com. Something special every day.
Every Monday night this fall.
What is it that produces these things?
The Weather Channel unlocks the secrets of the Earth. An all-new season starts next Monday night at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Well, take a look at this. We've got all kinds of damage in central Illinois because of the gusty winds that came on through thanks to thunderstorms. Traffic lights hanging down, power lines, and those light poles snapped in two. My goodness, it was certainly quite the storm system going through the Midwest, and unfortunately we're not done yet. The most severe of the storm system is still down towards the south and the southeast. Here we go. Here's that line of storms from the Gulf Coast all the way up through Tennessee into Kentucky. A couple of different things of concern here. Number one, we've got still these south to north moving storms out ahead of the main line. Sometimes we can get a little bit more rotation out ahead of those storms, the isolated storms. We're going to be watching those carefully. The line itself will have very gusty winds, plus the chance for flooding rains. Now, along that line, there are individualized segments. It's not just one steady thing. This is almost like its own organism, right? So you can have these kind of backwards C shapes, bow echoes, if you will, moving through certain areas, indicating even gustier winds at those apex points. So here's the severe thunderstorm warning for Hamilton, Marion, and Sequatchie counties. That goes until 12:15, just north of Chattanooga. Here's that gusty wind moving through the area, not to mention very heavy rain. And so flooding is a concern. Even after the storms go through, flooding will still be with us. Outside Huntsville, there's still a flash flood warning. That one goes until 2 a.m. So, Kim, a multifaceted storm, lots to watch through the rest of the night.
And we're right here with you, that is for sure, folks. We've actually had a busy scene at the San Juan International Airport in Puerto Rico due to weather as well. Many flights canceled today because of Gonzalo. The hurricane is expected to move east of Puerto Rico, missing it by about 130 miles or so. However, we still could feel the effects of it with maybe tropical storm force winds and maybe some of the rain bands coming in as well. Let's get you updated on your tropical update. It's 10 till the hour. I'm meteorologist Kim Cunningham. Looking right now at the tropics, it's pretty active. We've got this system. Oops, dropped my clicker. Hang on a minute. This system here around Hawaii, this is Tropical Storm Anna. It is forecast actually to get close to Hawaii over the weekend. We also have 3 systems out in the Atlantic. This one just an invest, 91L, not expecting this to develop. That's the good news. We have Faye that is moving away, but we also have Gonzalo that is now just to the west or east of Puerto Rico. The center of it is anyway, and to the east of the British Virgin Islands. The latest advisory has winds of 85 miles per hour. The pressure 984 millibars, moving northwest at 12. So what we're looking at here is a hurricane, and the center of it is somewhere in this area right in here is somewhere where the center is. And looking at this infrared satellite picture, notice the deep reds or purples are along to the east and to the north of it. For this to really show some rapid strengthening, we probably want to see a lot of those purples wrapping all the way around the center. We may see that, but at least right now, it may be holding its own for a minute. You can see the eye very evident here on the radar. You can see some of the banding, some of those convection or thunderstorms wrapping around the center, that eye wall really trying to really get developed here. And some of the heavier rains may be coming into the British Virgin Islands before too long. Another band of rain, some of these bands coming into Puerto Rico, where we could see some heavy rain from this, especially with those northerly winds. As upslope conditions here for the central mountains could cause a problem for us. But again, looking where the center is, again, the center of it is not going to go over Puerto Rico. So that is the good news. However, we're going to see some gusty winds, especially in the north and eastern part of the island. It moves away pretty quickly. It strengthens. Water temperatures here in the mid 80s. And as it does move north and west, it could become a Category 3 hurricane and eventually be heading up towards Bermuda, maybe towards the weekend. So another event maybe for Bermuda with this. What's going to steer it to the east eventually? It's this storm system that's moving through the U.S. This front, this deep trough here will eventually push it towards the east and maybe up towards Bermuda. We have hurricane warnings in effect for, looks like Anguilla, also St. Martin, the British Virgin Islands under hurricane warnings. Puerto Rico, though, tropical storm warnings. Again, maybe it's just feeling the effects of tropical storm winds, but be prepared for power outages either way. 1 to 2 inches of rain. Yeah, we might see a little bit more than that as well in some isolated spots. Invest 91L. Nothing to worry about with this one. It is going to move off to the west, but upper level winds will not be favorable for this to develop. We'll have more on what's happening near Hawaii coming up at 20 after the hour. Mark?
And another hour of Weather Center Live is just 1 minute away. We're staying with you all through the night and into the morning. You can also get your info on weather.com or your mobile device at any time.
Currently in our area, 82 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Overnight, partly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 78. Tuesday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 86. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Woke up from a day of sleep. The lightning woke me up, and I heard